Hello, everybody. My name is Dominic Mantuano, and I am the Executive Director of the Connecticut Burns Care Foundation. Welcome to another Champions Podcast. As usual, we have another fantastic, awesome guest. Today, we have the camp director here with us, Mr. Tom Smith, and he's going to tell us all about himself, about the camp, about what's coming. And I can't tell you how wonderful it is to have him here today with us, because we do have camp coming up July 10th through the 17th, and we are back, baby. We are going to hit this year really hard. We're going to have so much fun, it's going to hurt in a good way. So without further delay, allow me to introduce to you Mr. Tom Smith. How are you, sir?
Hey, good morning, Dom. How are you?
Well, now that I've seen you, I'm a much better person. Hey, I tell you what, I heard so much about you. Now, again, I feel a little like I've fallen behind because I've only started in October. But you, Steve, Andy, all these people have been here multiple years. So I feel like I have a little bit of catching up to do, but it's okay because I look up to all of you, and I really feel honored that now I'm a part of the family here trying to help out and go forward. So listen, the first thing I want to ask you is, would you please tell me a little bit more about yourself, what you do, and who you are?
I was a kid from Brooklyn, got on the fire department in 1997. Joined the military in 98, and so I did my duty over here in Groton, Connecticut.
Hey, all right.
And one of the charter members of the camp, Cy, he is a firefighter in the sub base. So during my weeks going up there, I met him, and we hung out every now and again. And he told me about this camp, and he told me how great it was. So he's like, you should try it out. He thought it'd be a good fit. And that was I finally got to camp in 2002.
Yeah.
So fast forward 20 years now.
Wow.
And then, here I am.
Here you are. Holy cow. Now, how long have you been a New York City firefighter?
Since 98. It's on 97.
Oh, since 97.
So it's 25 plus years.
Wow. God bless you. That's phenomenal.
Thank you.
I hear these years, and I have so much catching up to do. So you heard about the camp through a friend. Correct me if I'm wrong. You heard it through a friend, but then what were the next steps you took to get involved with the camp after you heard about it?
Well, you explained it to me, and first we had work parties, just getting the camp ready. So it's a month or two before, and so he invited me up there just to get acclimated to where the camp was and meet some of the other counselors, and he told me about it. And, honestly, first apprehensive. I always felt like I wanted to do something like that, but... he felt like it'll be good. He said, when you get there, you could be, a little taken back because there's a lot of activity, a lot of kids. And he said, but they're kids. They just want to play. And it's exactly how it happened. The kids would play and said the same thing. By the end of the week, you're ready to go home because they're kids and they're going to wear on you. And
Absolutely, I hear you.
But it's definitely very rewarding because as soon as you're leaving, you're missing the kids, you're missing the camp, and you're missing the activities and seeing what they do. So it's really a very rewarding experience that keeps me coming and keeps a lot of us coming. So.
That's fantastic. Now, you are our camp director this year. Now, this is your first year as camp director?
It's actually my second
Your
year.
second year as camp director. Did you hold any other positions at the camp before camp director?
Yes.
What'd you do?
So we always start off usually as a counselor. You're in a group with the kids and you chaperone them around. And then after the third or fourth year, they needed somebody to go on the waterfront, so I went to be a lifeguard.
Oh, all right.
And I was the director down there for a little bit.
Great.
So the waterfront director, George Gomez, he had to take a year off, and he wound up switching roles. So I took over. Then I was succeeded by Paula Carlson, and she was phenomenal as a waterfront director.
Okay.
And 2012, they sent me down to the international camp in D.C.
Yeah.
And after that, they asked me to become the human resource director. So
what's the difference between now you being in charge as the camp director here for the past 2 years compared to all the other stuff? What do you find some of your challenges?
Yeah, unfortunately, my first year as camp director was when we closed camp, when we said there's no camp. So I got one phone call, it's like you had one job to do and you canceled it. So, we were determined, and, but you can't be overly determined, you have to do everything safely. So last year, we definitely want to have camp, and we put together safe practices and mitigations as best we can, so we can create a good atmosphere.
Absolutely.
And
safety first, right? That's
absolutely.
You
That
have to.
is the mantra: is safety first when we're dealing, especially with kids, when we're dealing with each other.
Right.
And we are in a rustic area or out in the, it's not necessarily the wilderness, but it is
out there.
Remote. It's definitely not city urban living that I'm used to as a kid from Brooklyn.
Right. So, Tom, let me ask you. We asked you what some of the challenges might be, but my question to you now is, what's rewarding? What are the rewards you're getting out of being two things: being there for so many years and being camp director?
That's a good question, Tom. I'll say the rewarding any kind of job I've always had, especially like firefighting. This is my background, but any job I had is just seeing when people get together as teamwork, and seeing them, come across a problem, might be like a little lag in the activities, and they come up with their activity on their own, and you see the teamwork, and then you see that transpire with the kids, and they're phenomenal. They lead us, like the counselors. We watch the kids, and the kids are really the leaders.
So, Tom, let me ask you something. This is sort of a great question I'd like to ask a lot of our guests that come on. If time and money were not a factor, you had that one thing you'd like to have for camp that you could just get, a wish that would just be granted, what would that be?
Well, I like to have the camp in a secure location. We lease it year to year, so it'd be nice if we just own the property so it's secure. Though that would be important. It's happening. Regardless, we have this property. We have the spirit of camp. Keep on with the legacy of providing something for child survivors, that they got somewhere to go. And if we're able to expand and network that out, like with other camps, so not just in the New England area here, that anywhere that there's resources that's available to everybody, so they know they're not alone. Right. So we have a lot of fun in camp, but our mission statement doesn't say fun at all. And I remember one counselor saying it's not about having fun, but life should be fun. So,
Tom, I'd like to ask you now, again, another question that I ask a lot of our guests, because I find it really, really great that the people get to know something about camp that you can bring forth as in a story.
The service that we provide for the kids is to move beyond the scars and not identify that. I got two friends of mine. One was in a bad house fire, apartment fire rather, and the other guy was a cooking accident.
Okay.
So I never thought about it. Always knew they were burned, but I never really. I never knew how much it would affect them until I actually come to camp. Sure. And I see, I see how things are affecting the kids and how they help each other out. So I always wish they could have benefited from these kids. They're doing fine. They're both well-adjusted adults now, but I'm certain they would have benefited from this. And I wish something like that would have been good for them. So we could still, provide this for the kids.
Reach out.
And again, like you're saying, we have a lot of fun, but it's about not being identified, about something that happened to them. It's about what they can and what they will become. And they are amazing, and it's amazing times.
And what you just said now about who they are and what they're going to become, I want to make this very clear. This man just said something so prophetic that these kids are going to return to the community, and they're going to give what they learned from where they are. And they are going to be champions of our communities, and they always will be. For that, I thank you for bringing it up, because it's people like you that they learn from. And I'm honored to be even sitting next to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, another Champions podcast has come, and we absolutely want to thank Mr. Tom Smith for coming in today and sharing with us his stories about being the camp director and just being how many years he's been with the kids. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, there might be somebody that you know, somebody that you might have been with that literally has been a survivor or has gone through what we are talking about and what we represent. With that, we ask you to reach out to others who you might know to spread the word that we're here for them. We're here for anybody who might need us for prevention, for lessons, for learning, for caring. We're here. If you know also somebody between the ages of 8 and 18 who would like to attend camp, we are here to absolutely get them involved, change the way of thinking, and allow them to just be a kid. Guys, it means a lot that I'm the executive director of the Connecticut Burns Care Foundation, but it means so much more to me that I get to associate with everybody like Tom Smith. This has been a wonderful Champions podcast, and we have so much more for you coming up. But for that, we need you to reach out to us on all of our social media. And the way you can start is by reaching out to us on our website at www.ctburnsfoundation.org.